Hey guys, it's Miss Zarden. I'm here to help you out with your ninth grade AMI activity for day 8 for social studies. Okay, it's this question here about gender equality. But before we start to make a decision about gender equality, let's kind of delve into what gender equality is first. So I've copied the question over here, but let's look at the definition of gender equality first. So all gender equality is a belief that everybody should be treated equally and have all the same rights and opportunities, no matter what their gender is. So basically, if you're a gender equalitist, a person who believes in gender equality, you believe that men and women should be treated the same and have the same opportunities. Okay? When people think of gender equality and that fight for gender equality, the 3 women that usually come to mind first are these 3: Lucretia Mott, Susan B. Anthony, and Elizabeth Cady Stanton. These 3 women are the ones who in the early 1900s led the convention at Seneca Falls for women's rights. They wanted the women's suffrage movement to happen. They wanted women to have the right to vote. So it is because of these 3 women that we will get the 19th Amendment in 1920, the women's right to vote. Okay. So these are the 3 women that kind of are seen as the forefront or the most important, or at least the most popular for sure, for the women's rights movement in the United States. And these 3 women are shown here in this really awesome sculpture. You can see you see Elizabeth Cady Stanton, you see Lucretia Mott, and you see Susan B. Anthony all here. And this is a really cool statue. But there's something special about the statue that I want to show you that kind of speaks to the women's equality movement. The statue itself, which is located in the U.S. Capitol's rotunda, in the U.S. Capitol, right where the Senate and the House of Representatives meet, right in the middle in the big circular rotunda where they have the most popular statues or important statues to who we are as a country, is this statue of these 3 ladies. And you probably noticed something pretty weird about this statue. The 3 women, you can tell perfectly who they are. They look exactly like they did in that image. But it's not finished. Okay? So there's been a lot of arguments or speculations about why the statue isn't finished. Some people have thought that maybe the artist left room over here for the first woman president that we obviously haven't had yet. So maybe that's why it's left blank. The most common idea is that the artist intentionally didn't finish the sculpture because women have a long way to go before they actually reach true equality. And so looking at it in that, the artist still had a long way to go before finishing this sculpture of these 3 women. So maybe the unfinished sculpture is showing the unfinished fight for equality, for women's rights. I think that's an interesting thing. But these women all existed in the early 1900s. They're older women. They fought for equality. They did awesome things, but they're not quite seen as like relevant to us today in 2020. And so someone that I want to kind of pull to your forefront, to your mind, is someone who's fighting for women's rights today. And that is a woman named Malala. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Malala, but she's pretty awesome. She's a Pakistani woman. When she was 17, she's going to become the youngest person ever to win a Nobel Peace Prize. And the reason she wins that Peace Prize is because when she was only 15 years old, she was actually survived an assassination attempt on her life by the Taliban. And the reason the Taliban tried to assassinate her is because even as a young child, she spoke out for girls' right to education. All she wanted was for girls to be able to have an education in Pakistan. And because of that crazy thought, the Taliban put her on the list to be assassinated. Malala was shot in the head on her school bus on her way home. She survives it, and now she's a huge women's rights advocate. So not only is she fighting for girls' rights in Pakistan, but all over the world. So she is kind of a good modern day example of a woman fighting for gender equality. Just because some places seem more equal than others does not mean the world is an equal place. So now that we know a little bit about gender equality, let's look at our question. So gender equality, which means males and females have the same rights and opportunities, is an important issue in our society. So Your job here is to describe whether or not you believe gender equality is an important issue. So you need to decide, do you believe gender equality is an important issue today? Yes or no? And then explain why you feel that. It's your opinion. There's no right or wrong answer as long as you explain it. Yes, I believe gender equality is an important issue because, or no, I do not believe gender equality is an important issue because. Okay? Then your second job is to give 3 examples of ways that you see gender equality impacting citizens. Okay? So 3 ways that it impacts us today. You can think about jobs, education, family, cultural roles. You can think of how the glass ceiling, how women don't make as much money as men. You can think about influence, who has more influence over society, over politics. You can think about all sorts of things. So first off, you're describing, right, whether or not you believe it's an important issue. And then you were giving me 3 examples or 3 reasons, okay, that yes, it is, or no, it is, how it impacts citizens. Okay. So you've got these sentence frames down here if you need a little bit of help. Also, don't feel afraid to reach out to your teachers. We love to hear from you because, to be honest, guys, we miss you. We miss you a lot. But okay, thanks. See you guys.